Lord, save a nation from the evil Britain. There will be sing and dance for the world to know you are our God. I believe. Listen to Radio Biafra. It's where we will share as a true Iyke Biafra. Let your kingdom come. Listen to Radio Biafra. It's where we will share as a true Iyke Biafra. Let your kingdom come. Biafra is standing. Oh, Biafra, we reign.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you're domicile. This is Iyke Mazi. Good morning to all of you, and welcome to a live broadcast from New York City under the auspices of our mother station, Radio Biafra London. My name is Mazi Iyke Mazi. At this point, I want to call upon our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is currently a prisoner of conscience, to lead us in prayer. Let us bow our heads and pray.
Without whom we cannot function, and unto him we give every honor and every adoration. Wherever you are, I will ask you, if you are in the spirit, to remain so. If you are outside the spirit, we ask you to come into it, because what we are preaching from here is a gospel of redemption as directed by Iyke Mazi himself in heaven, and this very gospel we must preach it. Therefore we must pray. We give thanks unto thee, O Elohim, for there is none like thee. There can give thanks unto like thee. You are the beginning and the end. You are the Alpha and the Omega. Our lives are in the palm of your hands. We commit all that we are unto thee. We have come as the ancients did before us, as our ancestors did before we came, to offer praise and adoration unto your holy name and no other. For we do not worship any idol. We do not worship anything born of a human being. We do not worship anything carved out of a tree. We do not bow down before anything molded with the hands of men. It's only thee that we worship. That is why we have come this very evening on this hallowed platform that you yourself created, to offer you unadulterated praise and to hand over to thee all that we can ever become, because Biafra is yours. This very family of IPOB, you molded yourself. You decreed that IPOB must come, and now that we have come, that we may worship thee, O Elohim, please accept our offering of praise and sacrifice unto your holy name, because there is no other like thee. We will continue to adore thee. We will continue to worship thee. And as I said before, and I will reiterate, as we pray unto thee, that Biafra is your possession, we will sacrifice Biafra unto thee, that you may guide us in all that we do. It's only you that sees the hearts of men. If there is anything that we are hiding, if there is anything that we have concealed from our people, oh Elohim, you will judge us very harshly. But if our hands are clean, our hearts very pure, you will bless IPOB, and you will bless me, and you will bless my family, because it's a promise from you. All our hope and our trust is upon thee. May your name be glorified. May you be exalted. May you, O Elohim, be praised. now and forevermore we pray. Ise, Ise, Ise.
Biafra, Biafra, hear the voice from Biafra. Biafra, Biafra, hear the voice from Biafra. See the rays from the rising sun. See the rays from the rising sun. Is the voice of the champion. Hear the voice of the champion. Truth be told, it's the one like us in Africa. We are a people fighting for the peace of the nation. Don't try to stop us, and exploding more than a dynamite. For we are champions, making our history. Oh, Biafra, missing tribe of Israel. Oh, demonstrating God's heritage. Exodus, the movement of the people of Biafra, marching on to motherland. Biafra, 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 hear the voice from Biafra. Biafra, Biafra, hear the voice from Biafra. See the rays from the rising sun. See the rays from the rising sun. Is the voice of the champion. Hear the voice of the champion. We're the chosen of God. We are moving forward. More than conqueror. Through the storm we flourish. Showing forth the glory of God, we write our destiny in the songs of history. Oh, Biafra, the nation tribe of Israel. Oh, demonstrating God's heritage. Exodus, the movement of the people of God. Biafra, marching on together, fatherland. Biafra, Biafra, hear the voice from Biafra. Biafra, Biafra, hear the voice from Biafra. See the rays from the rising sun. See the rays from the rising sun. Hear the voice of the champion.
All right, hear the voice of the champions. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. We're sending out messages to the world. This is the mouthpiece of the indigenous people of Biafra. Anything you hear on Radio Biafra, take it to the bank. That is the truth. However, we're not saying you shouldn't listen to the other broadcasters. No, you can. But please, be careful how you take their point, because they're doing everything. They're trying to fight us. We're not fighting nobody. What we're asking for is our freedom. And the freedom is what we are going to get, regardless of what they think, regardless of what they say. All right, this morning I got a clip that I need to share with you. Rita Nibogo having an interview, and I think we need to listen to what, but even though in some of the cases she wasn't very correct, I am telling the truth. I don't know if this tape was edited or if it was given, it's being given to us the way it is. You know, when you doctor a tape, you can make something that somebody says look something, sound something different. That is that is normally the normal thing that they do out there. You doctor tapes and they bring it out, and it doesn't. The person is listening to it is like, was this what I really said? So let's listen to the interview. We're going to talk about it later on the program, whatever you think about it. But before then, what I want you to understand is that there are many people out there fighting us, saying things that we didn't say. We try to make it look like we said something which actually it is what they wish that we said. They are not giving it to you the way we said them. And I'll first of all start by reading out the press release. Before I go to returning back, let me read out this press release. was done on 2nd of July 2023. IPOB protests and engagements in the United Kingdom yielding results. Oh no, this is an older one. Let me see. It's not the one that I want actually. It's one that even though all the press statements are just as relevant as they were when they were made. They're very relevant today as it was when it was first made. Alright, this is the one that I want to talk about. Simon Ekpa and his supporters are not same as followers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The general public should ignore Barrister Alozie Iyke's falsehood on Arise Television. It's a press release by the indigenous people of Biafra. So let me read. We, the global family and movements of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, ably led by Iyke Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, debunk the misinformation and lies broadcasted on Arise Television on Saturday, 29th of July 2023 by Barrister Alozie Iyke to the effect that Simon Ekpa's supporters are the same as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's followers. While we agree that some misguided supporters of Simon Ekpa are followers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, being under this illusion that Simon is working for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in reality, however, the majority of his supporters are sworn enemies of IPOB who are working with Ekpa to sabotage IPOB's effort at liberating our people from the evil contraption called Zoological Republic of Nigeria and the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from detention. For the avoidance of doubt, Simon Ekpa was never an IPOB member. This is the way I wanted to lay emphasis because I'm going to listen to Rita and about what she's saying. That's why I said there's some falsehood in what she's saying, unless her tape was doctored. For the avoidance of doubt, Simon Ekpa was never an IPOB member and has no alliance whatsoever with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or IPOB, because both are focused on the freedom of our land and people and have no business with criminality. The only remote connection is that he, Simon Ekpa, was talking about Biafra on his own platform, which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saw in a positive light, having supported anyone or group genuinely agitating for Biafra, whether the persons are IPOB members or not. Simon has his group called Autopilot. He has his own government, which he announced himself as their prime minister. The question that people must ask themselves is whether Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is part of Simon's platform government in exile. Of course not. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has said it time and time again that our focus is to liberate our people, who will then choose their leaders in a free Biafra land, and therefore does not and will never support any such nonsensical and imbecilic government in exile. I want you to pay very, very good attention. This is a press release by IPOB. If Simon Ekpa is an IPOB member, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in the spirit of principle of command and control, should have sent the handwriting note to the head of the Directorate of State, HDOS, of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Iyke Mazi, to discipline or sanction him, that because Simon Ekpa is not an IPOB member, but a fake disciple, he, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has to write him directly. Does this make sense to any of you? I want you to pay close attention. If I do anything wrong, I am a member of IPOB. Of course, Iyke Mazi will get me to the book. That's his job. But because that man over there is not a member of IPOB, Chikadism cannot really do anything about it. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that's why he sent a message to him directly. Do I make myself clear? This is very, very clear. There is nothing to hurry about it. Barrister Ijimako has no idea what IPOB is fighting for and does not know IPOB's modus operandi. That is why he attempted to export his lack of knowledge of the inner working of IPOB and his confused state of mind to the general public. The general public is advised to ignore a confused Alozie Ijimako and his false claims on Arise TV, which are the product of gross ignorance on his part. Gross ignorance on his part. It is on record that Simon Ekpa has publicly maintained that his violent enforcement of the reckless sit at home are to demonstrate that his so-called government in exile is in control of Biafra land. He, Simon Ekpa, has not attributed the infamous sit at home to IPOB, even though he is hidden under the pretense of seeking for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release to perpetrate his criminality in Biafra land. Lastly, he, Simon Ekpa, has stated categorically that he will not take orders from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is in DSS dungeon. Therefore, for Barrister Ijimako and any other person to insinuate or assume that Simon Ekpa has any connection with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB is not only mischievous, but playing the script of the sponsors, which are the IPOB family, are very much aware of, because we know his antecedents. He never meant well for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but only observed with how he can use the position of Supreme Counsel or Special Counsel for personal aggrandizement. Simon Ekpa's criminal supporters who carry out violent enforcement of the infamous sit at home are neither working for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu nor for IPOB. These criminals, under the command of Simon Ekpa, claim to be ESN operatives during their violent enforcement just to blackmail IPOB and give the DSS, who recruited him as a group, to continue the illegal incarceration of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Barrister Ijimako knows all these things. But being part of the great plan to keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in detention, he came out to display his stupidity and show his sponsors that he is working. The IPOB Directorate of State unequivocally call on the general public to ignore Barrister Ijimako's ignorant claims on Arise TV. Simon Ekpa is not, in bold letters, has never been and will never be in any alliance or collaboration with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. Barrister Ijimako is just one of the lawyers contracted to handle specific cases for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He is not and has never been, for the avoidance of doubt, the legal representative of the indigenous people of Biafra as a government, or as a movement, He is not an IPOB member. He has no reason meddling into the IPOB operations beyond the special legal matters that he was contracted to handle. he has no authority or permission from the IPOB's Directorate of State to speak for IPOB outside the few legal matters assigned to him by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. IPOB is not a village organization, and we have cautioned him several times to stop making a fool of himself and in relation to his noble movement, and that he should stop using IPOB's matters to cut deals with politicians. It is his prerogative to enter into evil alignment with infiltrators and saboteurs, but he should leave IPOB out of his desperation to deliver his sponsors. Ejimako knows very well that Simon is a mole and an agent of Nigerian government because he is an insider to the DSS project Okudili/Simon Ekpa. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would not have found the need to write the fake disciple and crime minister Simon Ekpa if Barrister Ejimako had done the needful months ago. You heard it. Let me finish before I comment on this. In another vein, IPOB leadership, the DOS wants people and lawyers going about meeting politicians, businessmen and women, traditional rulers and religious leaders in Biafra land for any favor on behalf of IPOB to cause and desist or be called out publicly. More so, people should stop patronizing such impersonators. IPOB has appropriate channels to communicate with whoever we want to contact. We also have phone inquiries lines and social media handlers on which the leadership of IPOB can be contacted. Finally, the public should ignore the claims of Barrister Ejimako on the Arise television interview on July 29, 2023. It is completely false that Simon Ekpa and his supporters are the same as followers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The IPOB leadership, the DOS, henceforth declares Barrister Ejimako a persona non grata. He must desist from parading himself as IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu conceal from this day. It's signed by Comrade Imapa for Media and Publicity Secretary for IPOB. Alright, thank you very much for this. If you have listened to this, and before I proceed, let me take a very quick short break and I'll be right back with you. Stay tuned, don't go away.
Think all these things that don't come again, you know.
And it sounds the people.
Oh, promise to the success. I'm the microphone. You don't tell when we fight for this freedom. You don't tell when we fight for this freedom. All we need is a referendum. 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 Tell me what to do, tell me what you do, tell me what you see, tell me what you see, tell me what you know. Are we talking about the referendum? long. You don't become Muslim.
All right, like I said before, I was reading out that press release and I wanted you to listen to it attentively because these people are confused. Amarande it's very funny because Ejimako is not an IPOB member. He's not working for IPOB. He calls himself special counsel. Now, if you're given duties to do as a counsel, you know where to draw your boundary. The lawyer representing IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi, the movement. Of course, we know who he is. Ejiofor, Barrister Ejiofor. And of course, our SAN, Ozakome. These are people that are supposed to say things, but everybody, before I continue commenting, because I wanted to link this up with what the lady was being interviewed and said in reference to the man who claims to be the prime minister. People sleep and wake up and say, something today I am whatever. You can call yourself whatever it is. My friend once made a fun. I used to have a late friend who was a police officer, a very high-ranking police officer, and then in those days when we were playing musicians, there were people that answered general. We had general, we had sir, we had doctor, we had whatever. And my friend said to me, musicians can answer anything. You can wake up in the morning, Ike, tomorrow and tell us you are Brigadier Ike. But the question is, it's not a problem. The way the problem will come is if you go to look for work and you produce a certificate that shows that you're a PhD or you're a doctor, when you are not. That's when my job comes in. That's where I come in and make sure that you stop using that name. So somebody wakes up in the morning and says, I am the Prime Minister of Biafra. Okay. So why do we have to even talk about that? We don't have to. It's just that person is dreaming. When they hang on my but they are always drunk. So let's listen to this woman because he said something very, very interesting, except that, like I said before, I don't know if she was a doctored, if the tape was doctored, because he said something about Samuel by being coordinator and the rest of them. I never heard about that. I knew that he was never a member of son Taker of IPOB, that I know very well, completely. He never addressed himself as that. He always told us he was a disciple, a lover of Mazi Nnamdi. That doesn't mean anything to anybody. It doesn't still make you. Because I remember that in Brooklyn in those days, before we have a meeting, when we start a meeting, if you're not a sworn oath member, you leave. No matter how much you love what we are doing, as long as you've not taken the oath to be a member of IPOB, we can discuss generally, but when it is time to talk the real thing, you are out. Or in secret society, whatever you want, it doesn't really make it doesn't change anything. So let's listen to Rita and about what she said.
Now realize that we have been getting it wrong.
Ndị ba ekelekwa m nke onye chi ya zelu. Biko unu gegodu ihe the former chief of staff IPOB Rita Anebogo. I hope we with them the name right. Ihe okwu gbasara Simon Ekpa. If Simon Ekpa is even a member of IPOB, unu gegodu within unu. Ihe okwu gbasara Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, ihe okwu gbasara Biafra, kai Jesus, ihe okwu gbasara later ahụ edete. Me, I don't have anything to say because if I talk waiting there my mind, if I talk they no go like am. Make una just hear
to discuss this further is Eberichukwu Anibogo Ada Biafra, a former Director General Movement of Biafrans in Nigeria. Good evening and welcome to the show. It's good to have you again, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. See you. All right, so let's start from the very beginning. I would like to know, how did Simon Ekpa grow in the ranks to become a prime minister that dishes out orders in the southeast states? So will you tell us a bit about him?
It's all right. Simon Ekpa is my brother. He's a Biafran. He's in Finland. When we started, the message was to preach Biafra all the nooks and crannies of the world, the whole world, to mobilize our people, bring our people together. And we used the instrumentality of the Radio Biafra, which Nnamdi Kanu was the director. And there was need for the message to go into all the countries, all the nations, everywhere. We had coordinators. We call them, like, for instance, in Ghana, we say Biafrans in Ghana, Biafrans in Finland. And these Biafrans in Finland, you must have a coordinator who will bring them together. Nnamdi will pass instruction through, the rep of that continent. And the rep of that continent will pass the information down to the coordinators. Then the coordinators will pass the information down to the members of IPOB in that particular country or state, or we have cells everywhere, down to local government wards, just like you have political wards. So it came at a time that we needed to have this coordinator in Finland. And for you to even rise to become a coordinator, you must have been a member, or a member of IPOB in that country. And Simon Ekpa, like you know, is gifted to oratory, just like Nnamdi Kanu. He talks finely, he talks good. And he was part, of the broadcast. Remember, it was an internet radio. You can stay in Finland, call in, and how eloquent you sound, determines the assignment that will be given to you. And when we discovered that he was talented, he was intelligent, and he had that capacity of bringing our people together, we decided to make him a coordinator. So from being a coordinator, he started broadcasting from Finland. Like those of you who are journalists, like you will say that pen is mightier than sword. Of course, now it's now microphone. People no longer read, or they will prefer to listen to. So he started broadcasting from Finland. So when Nnamdi Kanu had issue with the federal government, so Simon Ekpa took over.
There's a controversy online. Some people are saying there's no such thing as the position of a prime minister in the Republic of Biafra. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
There is nothing like. You see, what our people should understand is that Biafra is still in the state of being. There is no Biafra today. We had Biafra between 1967 1970. That 1970, we handed off. We surrendered, to Nigeria. We came back to Nigeria. And that is why now you don't have president of Biafra. You don't have prime minister of Biafra. Because Biafra is just this territory. It's a territory within Nigeria. Yes, we want Biafra. But today we are still in Nigeria. That is why you have the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and you have governors in all the states. So for anybody to just come and say that he's the prime minister of what? Of a country that is not there? We are still using the Nigerian naira. Simon Ekpa traveled to Finland with Nigerian international passport, green, white, and green. So I wonder, maybe he's dreaming. You want to govern just maybe grasses or maybe goats and cows that you have in your father's compound. There is nothing like Prime Minister of Biafra. Like Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu became the director of Radio Biafra. From the director of Radio Biafra, he became the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, and not the leader of Biafra. There are two different things. Indigenous people of Biafra. Myself, who is from this territory, I'm an indigenous person of Biafra. So if I have somebody who is my leader, that person can say, I am a leader of an indigenous person of Biafra. Not that I'm a leader of Biafra, because there is no Biafra now. Biafra is in the state of being, just like I told you. Fine, we are struggling to get Biafra. And what we are saying is that today we are still here. We are still in Nigeria. Even if by God incidence, coincidence, by miracle, by whatever means, tomorrow we have Biafra.
Running a small business takes grit and determination and
All right, like I said, we're listening, we're still paying attention very closely because the contradiction that I see there, that Simon Ekpa was not a member of IPOB. Maybe say Biafran, yes, like she said. Let me go back.
Or we want to run this type of government, that is when we can have the president of Biafra or the prime minister of Biafra. For now, there is not like prime minister of Biafra. And Simon Ekpa cannot say that he's a prime minister of a non-existent country.
Okay, so the issue on ground is the letter, and Nnamdi Kanu sending that letter. I read the letter myself, of course, requesting to Simon Ekpa to desist from the sit at home, and Ekpa has come out to say a lot of things. First, he says the DSS wrote the letter. In another breath, he said Kanu is not mentally stable, and it was the DSS propagating the lies. Let us know exactly. Where was that letter written? You've been close to Nnamdi Kanu. Was that letter really written by Nnamdi Kanu?
That letter, I saw it, and there is a God, there is a God that we know that created us here. We call him Chukwu Okike Abiama, the God of creation. There is no, even if you lie to the whole world, you cannot lie to Chukwu Okike Abiama. He's a supreme being. I've been with Nnamdi Kanu, I've lived with him, I've dined with him, I came back to Enugu with Nnamdi Kanu, and we lived in the same house. And like I said, at a time, I rose to be his chief of staff. Every command passed through me, both in writing, both in maybe instructions. I know his handwriting. That even if I am sleeping and somebody come and wake me up and show it to me, that letter that Ejimako paraded, that Nnamdi, it emanated from Nnamdi Kanu. His handwriting, the style of English, the style of everything. So anybody that has stayed with Nnamdi Kanu like Ekpa and still deny that letter did not emanate from Nnamdi, is just telling lies. So that letter is legit, is authentic, it is the handiwork of Nnamdi Kanu, and there is no two ways about it. I am not saying it to, what am I gaining at this age? If I don't tell my people the truth, when will I tell them? I am very close to the grave, that I cannot afford to, lie to my people. I so much like I like Biafrans. I like them. Everything about me, the blood, everything, the water in me is Biafra. Many people don't even know that it was that Biafra word that took my father. Do you understand? I was still in the womb then. So, we cannot afford to tell our people lies if we love them. And that is why I am asking, who is Simon Ekpa really working for? You said you are working for Nnamdi Kanu. That Nnamdi Kanu is your leader. And your leader has just commanded you to stop this sit at home. It is now counterproductive. Maybe where I am now, I have realized that the sit at home is not doing us any good. Cease, stop, and you are still wearing it. Who is Simon Ekpa working for? Is he really working for Biafrans? I am not sure. that letter is authentic. It's from Nnamdi Kanu. And then
All right, you see, the controversy, as far as I'm concerned, is that the letter, there's no doubt in my heart, in my mind, that our leader wrote that letter. But the truth is that the man that was given this letter, this is a job he could have done long time ago. He was given the instruction. You know, our our lawyer, made, on his broadcast, said something. He said Nnamdi Kanu had instructed somebody, and he doesn't want to mention that person. Every indication shows me that it's this Ejimako, because these are the people that we're going to see. To indict this man in Finland. And he's given, not that he tried to do it or failed, no. He gave the impression that he has done it, when actually he has not. So this letter that is bringing out obviously was written by our leader, but the truth is, why is it being delivered now? And the lady asked a very pertinent question: who is Simon Ekpa working for? Of course, we've always told you from the beginning. This is a monster that is created by the federal government of Nigeria, by DSS themselves. But they are failing as usual. They are failing, they will do all this, but in the end, we'll all smile. Biafrans, keep your eyes on the ball. Nothing shall, nothing they happen. All this too shall pass. We've gone through it before. We've gone through tripod, high pod, and jump pod. All the pods, where are they? People come and go, but you know something, the truth will always remain. Who is Simon Ekpa working for? Good question. We know who he is working for. We have always said it from the beginning. We said it, but nobody wants to pay attention. Not until it affects you. Not until it becomes so disastrous for you. Even the man that is trying to stop the so-called sit at home, they are all working for these people. They are all Fulani now. We know what is going on. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu introduced sit at home. Few days, few weeks. I don't even think if it was up to 2 weeks. They called it off. We should stop it. We made an announcement over the radio. I have people calling to say what can you. Some people in the Facebook, there was nothing they never said about the head of that trust of state. How treacherous he is, how he has he wants Nnamdi Kanu to die in jail, how is this, how is that, is stopping. But the man was taking the instruction from his boss. That is what somebody does. That is what a sensible person does. You're working for me, and I am out there, and I give you instruction on what to do, and you don't carry it out, and you say you're working for me. No, you have deviated. You're not working for your pocket or for yourself. So that letter that there's no doubt. Even though Madadi's Rita and Moga have just said it, that because of the way he knew our leader is the one that wrote that thing. But the point is that its contradiction is that if our leader wrote that letter, if Simon Ekpa was working for him, let me put it this way, if Simon was a member of the IPOB, probably that letter could have been addressed to Chike Doziem. But hey, it's outside the cycle. As soon as our leader was abducted, it's a good one. As soon as he was abducted, this same fellow was announced by BBC that Biafrans, that IPOB has now a new leader, and his name is Simon Ekpa. BBC did that. It wasn't hidden. Punch newspaper had it as headline that Nnamdi Kanu has now a replacement. Because that was even long before we even knew what was happening. Because most of us on the radio wouldn't know, we were looking for a leader, we didn't know where he was, but I personally was saying, oh, maybe he's praying because he gave us prayer assignment at the time. So probably he's gone into seclusion, he's praying, but eventually we found out that he was abducted. However, this fellow already, even the BBC already made the announcement, Punch newspaper already wrote it, even before we knew that our leader was abducted. All this is our plan, but it's not going to work. Whether a letter is fake or real does not mean anything to us anymore. Because the messenger himself defaulted. He was already told to do this thing. He could have done this long time ago. No, he wouldn't do it. They all fail. After all, we need failure. Let me see if I can conclude this thing that she's talking about and move on with something else. Alright, I can't even.
Free man, woman, boy or girl that love this our land, this territory, Anambra, Imo, Enugu, Abia, Ebonyi, should pay attention to what Nnamdi Kanu is saying. Nnamdi Kanu has been with us, has stayed with us at this side, now he's at the other side. If I am to say, I will say that Nnamdi now realized that we have been getting it wrong. And if this is the only thing Nnamdi will do for us, I think I will forever remain grateful to him. You see, you are in the darkness, and all of a sudden, you begin to see.
Now, this is preempt. I don't like assumptions. Is something I hate so much. Because you say things you are not sure of. There are things you don't say in the public. You come out, you say, oh, because he's on the other side, he has changed his mind. He is now thinking that he made a mistake. My dear, this is just, you are just assuming. I can assume also that he is on the other side and no quickly go. Do I have the right to do that? No. You don't have the right also to say what you're saying. Our leader has not made any mistake. He's trying to save his people. He has told us time and time again. If you are his follower, you know that he has made it very clear to everybody. I was born for this. What I am doing is what Chukwu Okike Abiama has asked me to do, and that's what I'm going to do. There's no mistake about it. He is there doesn't mean from people like me, and I say, because now somebody else. Okay. Now somebody else. But do you know that when he is there, we are there too. The uncertainty that this brings in your own life, you don't even, sometimes when you remember that he is there, one thing we have to understand, make it very clear, and I keep saying it every day, is that everything in nature does not make a mistake. When I say nature, it's what some people call Chukwu Okike Abiama, some people call it God, call it whatever name you want. It doesn't make a mistake. But the way might be convoluting, we might look at it like a silly mistake, but in the end, when they went to Afaruku Ibeku and took him, there was nothing that we didn't say. There was nothing we didn't think. I was one, because I watched the event live on TV, on my phone, from the beginning to the end. When he came out, I was telling people, I saw them come over here, they couldn't turn over here, and all the rest of them. Then the shooting started. Eventually, we weren't sure he was there. All kinds of rumors started starting. Oh, he was whisked away by the Rivers people. He was this, he was that. All kinds of things were said. But nobody came up till today as I'm speaking to you. Only Nnamdi Kanu knows how he got away from there. Only him knows how he got to where he's going. Whatever we are saying, we're just rumoring. The same thing with what is going on now. He has sent his message at Chukwu Okike Abia, even before he got incarcerated. He made it very clear to us that you can't kill a Biafran and get away with it. That Biafra will not come if you take the life of a Biafran. What is different with what you think he has realized? Oh, he got it wrong. Got what wrong? What is the wrong thing that he got wrong? What has he really done that is wrong? So now he has realized that looking for Biafra is wrong, because that's where you're going. He didn't get anything wrong. What he's doing is the direction of divine direction. He is following his instinct. That thing you call super consciousness. That thing you call it anything you want. And that's what he's following. You don't want to believe it, that's your problem. It doesn't matter. Whether you accept it, whether me accept it or I believe it or not, doesn't change anything. People are out there trying everything to be like him, but it's not possible now. You can't be me, I can't be you. That's definite. And then you can't do what he is doing. They will let him go. If they don't let him, look at the number of, he's been there for about 2 years. Take a look at Nigeria and see where it is going. Has Nigeria improved? Of course, on the contrary, no. It's running negative, minus. It's minus. If you had held him for 2 years and you were on top of at the peak of the mountain at the time, you are now at the bottom. So what do you gain from holding him? What has he yielded any profit? You spend this energy of trying to, which is still going on today. It hasn't changed. I was listening to the Senate. Abaribe addressed them. I was hearing everything everybody was saying. Even the one that the president said, the president of the Senate, we talk about Nnamdi Kanu is prejudicial. You people are killing. You are deceiving yourself. You are the lawmakers. You are sitting down in the Senate where you make the law, and you see the laws that you make being violated by some people outside that they call the judges. You can't call them to order. You are supporting them. Oh no, we can't talk about Nnamdi Kanu because it's prejudicial. Judicial about what? You don't tell me that even if you have not been written officially, that you don't follow the events that is happening in your own country where you're supposed to be a senator. Because if you know, that is Iyke Mazi is still trying to punish you guys. You have not atoned yourself very well. That is why what is happening. Look at you. Take a look at yourselves. You have somebody, election in your own eye was rigged in favor of a criminal. Look at all the visitors you are having to Aso Rock today. They are all criminals. The thing will work out you. All the people that they're embracing there, that are shaking hands with now, they are making some noise, serious noise. Somebody will tell you, I've created my own army. This man must be president. If you don't, I will burn down the zoo. And he's still walking around. And he's not walking around, he's sitting in a wheelchair. Anyway, they're pushing him around. When we say these things, we think, I look at it like Iyke Mazi is really hasn't finished dealing with the zoo. You know, it's just like Pharaoh. Pharaoh, God hardened his heart until his people drowned in the Red Sea. That's what he let his people go. The same thing that is happening today in the zoo. We will all drown. Definitely, there's no doubt about it. I have no doubt in my mind about drowning, because it's going to happen sooner or later. Whether you like it or you don't like it, when the time comes, Biafra will come, regardless of. The only thing is that for those, because you know, somebody already in the book, a man was blaming God when there was an air crash and everybody died. And the man was like praying, and God just told him, he said, do you know how long it took me to get those people together? Because these are people that were supposed to go together. So it took me time to put all of them, to arrange so that all of them will come into the same plane that will go and crash. That's exactly what's going on in the zoo. They are picking up people there are people out there who will survive. No matter what you do. God is taking his time. Iyke Mazi is taking his time. And for you to help him do this job faster, change your thoughts, change your mind, change the way you think. Change the way you think. Because that is what will bring you that light at you. But if you think you know it all, no problem. Your money, you have lost count. Everybody is crying. You are out there, somebody is there in Enugu fighting, and wait, let us stop this sit at home. It's spoiling our economy. That's good. That's a good thing to stop. But the point is that why get under the mixer that is dirty, looking for wires that you disconnect, when actually the mixer itself is not out, it's not getting an output because the volume control is turned down. Turn the volume control up, and very simple job. You don't need to dirty yourself. You are there struggling and trying to fix a house. Oh, this house, we need to change the door. We need to change the window. The roof is leaking. We have to change it. But the walls are broken. My dear, all that is a waste of energy. The house needs to be rebuilt. The structure, the foundation is rotten. All you need to do is escalate it, push it down and rebuild, build, dig the ground again and put the new foundation. So you can be running up and down and deceiving yourself. Nigeria will keep going to calamity upon calamity. The evil that whatever is holding them will continue holding them and will never stop holding them until they let Biafra go. Whether you like it or you don't like it, that's what Chukwu Abiyama. I know Chukwu Abiyama will harden your heart, like they hardened Pharaoh's heart. You'll be crying and complaining and still be doing what you're doing and hoping that it will be better. My niece told me yesterday that one of her friends said, it's in Nigeria, and that one said, no matter what happens, I have the confidence that Nigeria will come back. I said, how old is the person? He says he's about 27. I said, okay, go and tell him that there's those of us who were that age, were hoping that it was going to change. Today we are almost 3 times that age. so nothing has changed and nothing is going to ever change. Because we know that Nigeria was not made as a country. It was something that somebody put together. And that somebody that put it together is long gone. They put it together for their purpose. They didn't put it together for us. They didn't put it together so that we might live well. No, they put it together because of their own interests. Ahia as big supermarket. They created a supermarket where they will do their thing and we think that we can change it. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. Alright, and let me open up the line for you. Make your calls. If you have anything to say, please go ahead. The lines are open for you.
You are the one with a halo. You are the one voice of me up for the single. You are the one with the bendo. If them like make their country fall, if them like make them kill us all, if them like make them steal our wealth, Biafra must come home. If them like make them put Lucifer for throne, if them like make them put innocent for jail, who can stop the sun from rising from the east? I never see you, yeah. Israel, I was living in captivity, and never got their land with ability. By the hand of the Lord gave them ability. That's how we sing, oh. You are the one with a halo. Voice of the Biafra, sing, oh. You are the one with the bendo. You are the one with a halo. Voice of the Biafra, sing, oh. You are the one with the bendo. The treasure of Biafra is not the land alone. We are blessed individually, one by one. That's why we excel no matter where we are found. Oh, the land of champions. The sun every day rises from the east. Even the 3 wise men, they came from the east. Yeah, the earth where you live, yeah, they rotate towards the east. Oh. The Israel were living in captivity. They never got their land with ability. The hand of the Lord gave them ability. That's why we hear you. You are the one with a halo. The voice of the Biafra sing. Oh, you are the one with the bendo. Yeah. You are the one with a halo. The voice of the Biafra sing. Oh, you are the one with the bendo. Yeah.
Oh, they hail you, they hail you, they hail you. You know, when I said something about the Pharaoh of Egypt that they said, let my people go, and was stubborn, Chukwukika Abiyama was the one that hardened his heart. And then, go away and wait time. You know, he played for time to make sure that he got the people together that would die. Because he may and one some people will escape. So they want to take, Chukwukika Abiyama takes his time. That's exactly what he's dealing with the zoo. And the zoo will eventually crumble. I tell you, when the people are ready, when the number of people that he wants have gotten down, then Biafra will be obviously here. Caller, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning to you, Mazi Iyke
Welcome to the program.
from here, good afternoon. And a salute to Biafrans all over the world, whatever your time zone. My name is Iyke Mazi Alozie, and I'm calling you from the Netherlands. Thank you, my brother, for this opportunity, because I want to, we have to treat our sister and mother, Wada or Ada, Ebere Chukwurita Anibogo. We have to treat her with love, but correct her with meekness as befits brother or sister. You see, she said some good things about questioning who is the prime or crime minister of anywhere, but where she made a mistake is where she was saying that Simon grew in the ranks, and we saw that he was eloquent and he was made a coordinator. Rita, it was talking at the time she was in Biafra movement in IPOB itself. She was indeed in IPOB with our leader Nnamdi Kanu, and then she left. He left. When our leader was on bail in the zoo, she came to apologize, to reunite, to embrace him, but she never came back to the organization. So she don't know the current workings of the organization or current makeup of the leadership. So she was talking as the modus operandi when she was inside, and she was not mistaken in that. The only mistake she made there was talking that Simon was made a coordinator in Finland. The guy in Finland, the Perima, never took oath in Finland. He never registered in IPOB in Finland. I went to Finland last time. I met the old coordinator. I met the current coordinator. I met the public relations officer. They explained anything to us. The guy never entered IPOB because he said the name of our leader was in the oath. Therefore, he wouldn't go into the oath and he wouldn't enter the family. So that is the mistake she made. And I hope that somebody who knows where Ada Biafra Rito Anibog will correct her that this guy we are talking about has never been a registered member of IPOB. Yes. He didn't grow in the ranks of IPOB, nothing like that. It's a very big mistake and it's worth correcting.
That's right.
Now, IPOB is one big family under one central command, you know, and the people who fell out from it because they cannot be under one command, we cannot be calling them IPOB, you know. And so, and I want to ask anybody, be you a legal practitioner or whatever, a special counsel or counselor, whatever you are counseling, what is the implication of saying that people who are doing things that IPOB and her leadership said we are not doing, like saying we are enforcing anything? What is the legal implication of saying that these people are the same people? What do you want to do if it's not mischievous? What do you want to achieve firstly in the eyes of the Nigerian law, and secondly in the international community who has rejected the claim and the tagging of IPOB by the Nigerian government? Because we live among all people in the world and they know that IPOB are peaceful and civil. So now, somebody who calls himself a lawyer wants to implicate himself because he cannot implicate IPOB. He's not capable. He's not capable. But God You know, when we say that Biafra is a spirit, people should try to understand this.
Yes.
Because Biafra has a way of throwing people out, even when they could try to hide all they want. You know, and so another thing I want to say is like there's something I need to explain here. IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB family and IPOB leadership don't believe in killing ourselves. It is sacrilegious to us. And so our leader says, if we kill ourselves, if you kill Biafran, a Biafran fighting for Biafra, you kill a Biafra or you kill Igbo man, then what you are looking for, you will not get.
Yeah.
So I want to let our people not get it twisted. If a Perima and his group or any other group that is fighting for Biafra kill anybody, it is not the business or the sale or culpability is not on IPOB and her leadership and not on Nnamdi Kanu. So the purity that IPOB, the purity that Nnamdi Kanu is maintaining in the pursuit of Biafra, God will not contravene it because he is keeping his word with the Elohim to Kokika Biama. So don't say, the Biafra will not come because they are killing our people. Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB are not killing Biafrans, they are not killing Igbos. And last but not the least, my brother, please, I want to say something about the international situation now. That Tifunubu, the usurper of power, is now dancing the tune of the neo-colonialists and the imperialists, trying to wage war against Niger Republic because they had a coup. What a coup is bigger than the coup that Tinubu protected in Nigeria by seizing power with the INEC and the rest of them and the APC cabal. Tinubu executed the coup in Nigeria, and now he is going to try to destroy our people, the black people, the West Africans of Niger. Tinubu is leading a gang of imperialists and neo-colonialists to go and kill our people in Niger. And then, if you are planning such a thing, you see the massive support and love the revolutionaries are having in Niger, in Mali, in Burkina Faso, and in Guinea, and the rest of it. And you want to go and fight with whose army? You want to go and fight the Niger people with imperialist and neo-colonialist army of Great Britain, maybe European Union, and maybe American. You conjure to go and kill your people. They give you the weapon. You go and do the divide and rule and divide and conquer for them because you don't want to do it, but they give you the equipment to do it for them.
Thank you.
This is why they want to. This is why they always want to put geriatrics, sleeper in chief on power because they're not there. They don't know what is going on.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go.
They just want to, yes, my brother, they just want to render their own image by doing everything the neo-colonists want them to do. But our land will punish them and chase them away. God bless Biafra. Thank you, my brother.
God bless. All right. Oh, here Biafra. What I want to keep saying when it comes to, I heard what you just said. I heard them on the news. But not the end work so let's not let's give Chukwukika Abiyama a chance to do our job for us. He's doing the job, he's doing it very well. No matter what you say, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Might look convoluting, might look like we don't know what that Chukwukika Abiyama doesn't know what he's doing. Like somebody was crying to me yesterday, you know, many people are dying. I said, well, people always die. The truth is that death is not the end. What we achieve in the end, that Chukwukika Abiyama takes his time to make his arrangement. So, Tinubu, go and fight them in Niger. Don't mind anybody. Go there. You know, when you get involved, you have fire burning your home. You have your foundation falling apart. You're interested in your neighbor's house. Your neighbor's house is more stable. Said that he wants to change the of his house, the windows and the things, and you want to go get involved in it. Go ahead. Okay. This is Radio Biafra. The lines are still open at 646-920-4541. 8453447984 929-406-9953. Still call us. The lines are open for you. Fine.
That's the same person we're all talking about. And who are we talking about? We're talking about the leader of the Biafra movement, the leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu.
Hello, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the program.
My name is Mazi Iyke Mazi. I'm calling from France. Good afternoon, Biafra. I love you so much. Even this program, I did not follow it from the beginning because I just finished work in the night work. I just wake up right now. That's why I received only some part. But what I want to contribute based on the little one I had, I want to give more part. You know, the issue, what is going on right now in Africa, if you check what our law said, and those who have the ear and those who have the eyes to see and to hear can follow the drum beating of the melody of changing working together working together hand to hand in order to make sure that the things will be in order. And those that are evil are making sure that they want to collapse the struggle of Africa. What I'm trying to say is, if Nnamdi want to go and fight Niger Republic, let them go. Because let him know that he do coup d'etat of democratic election, because he said catch them, thief them, and grab them. And what he did, he said grab them, and he grabbed the whole election by the people who work with him. And let him remember that fighting for all those people is fighting directly to Russian government and also the new world order that is going on today. And if he himself being used to do this thing is like helping to free Biafra in another strategy again, because we are using a kind of a diplomatic system to restore Biafra. But if you want to war with all those little neighboring borders in Africa, automatically is helping the restoration of Biafra more quicker in a bigger way. Because if anything happen in Nigeria, they attack or themselves start the war, then those people cannot keep silence. That what they are going to do is they are going to attack Asrock. And remember that all the whole soldiers from Russia, they are going to troop inside Nigeria because the border is polarized and it's not covered. Almost 200 and something border in Nigeria from the north are polarized. They are going to move and they are going to enter, and they are going to disguise themselves as Nigerians, and they will enter there and slaughter them like a slaughterable. And the two, Biafrans, we need to be careful. And also, when we see such thing happening, we need to call our border in politics. Those are in soldier, in marine, military form. Let them record their memory and back. If possible, let them resign. Anytime they are signing this thing, if they sign it, any day they sign it, being able to move, let them resign. Why? They are going to use them to do what they did during the time of the country of George Weah and all those Sierra Leone during the time of Ecomoc. Because who fought in that peaceful nation was the Igbo soldiers. And they went there and do all kinds of things. Even the stain are still there. People that are living in Sierra Leone and all those things, they still have a grudges towards Igbos, not Nigerians. And they still talk about very bad side of Igbo people. And if they want to do it again, in able to send the Biafran soldier under Nigeria to go and they cause problem for them. Tomorrow, if Biafra restored, then we will start having a external enemy within our region. This is what they are trying to do, and I'm encouraging and I'm applauding. I'm asking Biafrans to be watchful. God bless you and bye bye.
Bye. All right. Thank you very much. Contribution on the program. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. The lines are still open on 646-920-4541, 845-344-7984, 929-406-9953.
Advocating for peace and advocating for self-determination. Nnamdi Kanu, that's the same person we're all talking about. And who are we talking about? We're talking about the leader of the Biafra.
Well, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Mazi Iyke, good afternoon, sir. Talk about Mazi Alozie from IPOB Maputo chapter in Mozambique. I think that's a cool problem. Mazi Iyke.
Yeah.
Mazi Iyke. I'm going to get you in that. What carrying I'm born a radio Biafra about Iowa Gomo Biafra. Ijeta. Coming down also the West and our two na the whole world the Russia. And to watch a in Africa, and I think that some of African countries open Russia died there. So Bimna Guam no come on our leadership to Russia, Yala, na West, maybe then the West, America, British, Germany, na France, in the age of African content. So also Russia, Bundi, and Nigeria. So Bimna Guam got opportunity in Africa. I just put Russia underground. Russia, I like Russia, because Russia, like every country, maybe the continent does. Mazi Iyke because I'm keen by and me. Because Mazi Iyke, not some freedom, I am powerful over the world. We need to powerful over the world. And something get why I have Russia. So also Russia, the only people I like country, big country, maybe the better country. Russia, I like that. So also Russia, the only superpower country, no one that colonized in Africa. Oh yes, you can suggest. Mazi Iyke. Thank you, sir, for this opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Sign off from Maputo, Mozambique.
There we go. Thank you so much. All right, this is Radio Biafra. Your suggestions in notes. People are the world is listening, so I know that if it's Iyke Mazi Alozie is in control, has always been in control. No matter what, no matter how much they try, they will always succeed.
To Nelson Mandela, in that his charismatic leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, he's remarkably similar to Nelson Mandela, in that his charismatic approach to securing freedom for his people, advocating for peace, and advocating for self-determination, the nation of Biafra, which used to exist. It existed for a great many years, centuries indeed. And then when the British came in, it was absorbed into the protectorate of Nigeria. And then it came into being in the late 60s during the Biafran War, as those of you who may remember. A particularly noteworthy event, which witnessed among the first and worst horrors of starvation and harm to civilians, the likes of which we had never seen, which amounted to essentially a genocide of the Igbo people. So when we say Biafrans, we're a lawyer and a civil litigator, international civil litigator, and a constitutional lawyer. I am pleased and honored to be counsel for Ambassadors of Self-Determination. I am equally pleased and honored to be here today. He's remarkably similar to Nelson Mandela in that his charismatic approach to securing freedom for his people, advocating for peace, and advocating for self-determination. So Nnamdi Kanu is a leader of the Igbo people. And in that regard, as I said, he is remarkably like Nelson Mandela. Nnamdi Kanu is our opportunity to get it right. So if you have some hesitation about supporting Nnamdi Kanu, because there's been some talk of him being a terrorist and the IPOB being terrorist, that's simply not true. But I'm here to submit to you, even more important, Nelson Mandela was considered a terrorist. As a matter of fact, Nelson Mandela was not removed from the United States list of terrorists until he was 89 years old, and I believe it was 2009, when he was almost dead. As we've said, evidence has come to light that not only is Nnamdi Kanu jailed, and let's just make sure what we're talking about is crystal clear. Here is a man that is a political leader, a peace-loving political leader that wants freedom for his people, wants his people to no longer be subjected to apartheid-like discrimination and genocide, and he's jailed because of that. He's sitting in jail as we speak today. And I would really be delighted, and my job would be done, if a great number of you said, why haven't I heard about this before? Why isn't everyone talking about this? Why is this something that seems to only concern the Igbo people? Why don't we know about this injustice? Because I submit to you, there is no greater injustice right now on this planet than the continued unlawful incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu. Now, it's easy to say unlawful, and I'm a lawyer and I often say it, but in this case, we have not one, not two, but three separate panels, judicial panels, that have said his arrest, his rendition, and his continued incarceration are absolutely illegal. Not because it's not a good idea, not because we don't like it, not because he's the leader of our people or a leader of people that we favor. The Nigerian courts applying Nigerian law made that determination not once, but twice. You have two court judgments, it's so obvious, that said he must be released immediately, he must be returned to his place of citizenship, which is Britain, and he must be paid 1 billion naira, or 500,000 naira, depending on the court. The United Nations has looked at this case and determined that there are rampant, gross human rights violations, and they demand the immediate release. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu represents, just as Nelson Mandela represented his people, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu represents over 50% more people, 42 million as opposed to 28 million. So how can we not move mountains, do everything in our power possible as human beings to free Nnamdi Kanu? It's fundamental, basic Nigerian law. And that has been disregarded because Nigerian law has been utilized by the courts twice to say, release Nnamdi Kanu. Again, let's make sure we understand he's in jail solely because of his political beliefs. He's caged solely because of his ethnicity and solely because of what he represents, which is freedom. Freedom from oppression, freedom from genocide, and freedom from apartheid-like discrimination. The UN determination, they found directly, not obliquely, not as a recommendation, but a direct speaking voice that the UN seldom if ever takes, almost never takes, that there was a violation of Nnamdi Kanu's human rights because he was detained arbitrarily and without law. He was detained without due process. He was detained without the right to use his counsel. And he was unlawfully kidnapped and secreted to a secret location. He was disappeared. He was all of the horrors that you can imagine that a nation could do short of actually killing him, which would be genocide, all at once. Nnamdi Kanu has languished in the darkness and the silence for far too long. We call for someone, anyone or Congress as a whole, to stand up and say enough's enough, free Nnamdi Kanu. So when this message gets out to the members of the United States Congress, I submit that those that want to strike a blow for freedom and also preserve their name for posterity, this would be a good start. So I think we have reason for hope. Without hope, everyone gives up. So I'm here to tell you there's hope. Finally, the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is of paramount importance, in beginning the process of remedying the religious and ethnic persecution in Nigeria. It's a bigger issue than him. The call, Free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is a call for human rights and obedience to the rule of law and good government that must be made from throughout the globe and heard in Abuja. 50 million plus, 60 million plus Igbo worldwide will cherish the day of Kanu's freedom, and the world will celebrate, much as it celebrated the release of Nelson Mandela. And we can all be part of that. The courts of Nigeria have spoken. The United Nations have spoken. Now is the time for the American people and Congress to speak, and the world to speak, to lend their voices, to condemn Nigeria's action, and to encourage them to do what is required of them in compliance with the rule of law and international human rights. If the United States is responsible in any measure for causing the release of Nnamdi Kanu, the world, West Africa, Africa, and the world will see and celebrate the United States as the beacon of human rights, freedom, and liberty, and the rule of law that it always has been, that we always imagine ourselves to be, and we aspire to be. Simple act, one man, one voice, one statement. We can attain those great benefits and that sense of accomplishment.
This is a long journey, but I do believe deep in my heart that the end is near. Martin Luther King said, I also...
Don Prince Victor Ibowe Mmadụ Anya Bebulu Biafra Deje No Obia Ije Freedom Ma Udo ka ị na-arịọ Anya chọrọ ihe mgbapụ ọbara n'elu Anyị bụ ndị Biafra bụ ndị ji udo na-aga oge isi maka iru ọma ka eju na-aga aga n'elu Ọ ga-adịkwara anyị na mma Ise Ụmụ Biafra Biafra na-asako Igbo nwe mmadụ Igbo nwe mmadụ na-asako Ụmụ Biafra Biafra na-asako Igbo nwe mmadụ na-asako Eji megwu mekene Chefu Nnamdi Kanu Otogbo ga-adịrị mma Onye eze na ọdụworo dị mma Ọkwa ndị solo gili n'elu ụwa akọrọ ọgụ okirilata Ọkwa osisi boro toro Emesekolo makwere Ọkwa anyị ma n'ọnọdụ ugo Ọdụrụ na-ebe mma Ọkwa okoko onye arụ A na-achụwa ya ọsọ Ofe ekwesị eliko nni Ọ ga-ejikwe n'ogologo ngaji Ike Kanu gị bụ na London Ike Kanu gị bụ na Israel Ike Kanu gị bụ na Russia Ike Kanu gị bụ na India Ike Kanu gị bụ na Biafra Nnamdi Kanu Ike Kanu gị bụ na Biafra Nsogbu Enyi mba enyi Nsogbu Enyi mba enyi Anyị ga-azọgbu ndị iro Enyi mba enyi Nsogbu Enyi mba enyi Ụmụ Igbo niile dekene Igbo nwe mmadụ anasako Igbo nwe mmadụ Biafra anasako Ewo Ọ dịwola anyị Igbo nwe mmadụ anasako Onye nwere kesi zanyere osisale Onye nwere nke Chukwu nyere Chukwu okike obiọma Onye give God what belongs to him And this is what belongs to him As we seek for peace and humanity It's not at all for vanity There are lots of people that's killing each other I want to wipe my brother Who will be a fire joy I'm forgetting the middle I'm forgetting the middle Nsogbu Enyi mba enyi Nsogbu Enyi mba enyi Nsogbu Enyi mba enyi Nsogbu ndị anyị na-enyi Enyi mba enyi Fellow let my people Ojudene lapudene, udene apụrụ. Mana anya bụrụ n'udene n'ụwa. Ihe okoko, I want to know something. Make una hear me. Ibulu nwoke fụrụ na tebe n'ụlọ. Make una come back o. Make una come back o. Kenyi dozie n'obodo anyị o. Kenyi dozie ibu potentu exporter. Nataba n'ụlọ. Nataba n'ụlọ. Kenyi dozie n'obodo anyị. Nataba n'ụlọ. Ndị dị n'obodo anyị o. Ndị dị n'obodo anyị. Epọtụ dịkwa n'aba anyị o. Ship na-agbakwa n'aba anyị o. Oyi dịkwa n'alaba anyị o. Mmanya kwụ dị n'aba anyị o. Ihe niile dị mma ọ dịkwa n'alaba anyị. Nataba n'ụlọ ka anyị dozie n'obodo anyị. Ụmụ Igbo kọmpa ka anyị dozie n'obodo anyị. O tinye nwata weli aka elu. Aka fụwa ya ụfụ o wetu aka o. Jehova nke zọpụtara ụmụ Israel n'aka Fero. Bilie natara ya oke ruru anyị o. Balie natara ya oke ruru anyị Chukwu o. Bilie natara ya oke ruru anyị o. Biafra bụ nke anyị o. Obodo ọma Biafra bụ nke anyị. Ala Chukwu tere mmanụ. Nzọbụ nzọbụ enyi nzọbụ enyi nzọbụ 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 enyi nzọbụ enyi mba enyi nzọbụ 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 ha enyi mba enyi anyị azọbụ olu ndị elu enyi mba enyi nzọbụ nzọbụ enyi nzọbụ enyi nzọbụ 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 enyi nzọbụ enyi mba enyi IPOB nzọbụ enyi nzọbụ enyi mba enyi nzọbụ nzọbụ enyi nzọbụ enyi mba enyi. Asịkwa m igwe dike o. Biafra anatago. Gidigidi bụ igwe eze nwanne m o. Igwe nwe mmadụ anatago. Ọ dị ihe nwata ya lapụrụ ya aka o. Biafra anatago. Agafuwa bụ ọkụ n'ike ehụtiela. Igwe nwe mmadụ anatago. Lapụ gebe anyị ka anyị nabago. Biafra anatago. Anyị anatago na anyị anatago. Igwe nwe mmadụ anatago. Anyị onye kene onye isi anyị our able director Mazi Iyke Nnamdi Kanu onye ọ ga-adịrị mma onye ese anyị si gị gaba anyị si gị gaba n'ilu. Don't be afraid at all. Never you be afraid of anyone. You are a lion. Ọkwa agụ na amụ agụ. Anyị bụ ndị nzọbụ nzọbụ Achukwu enyi obi amara ime gị nzọbụ 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 enyi mba enyi eke ụmụ Biafra nzọbụ nzọbụ enyi nzọbụ 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 enyi mba enyi nzọbụ nzọbụ enyi nzọbụ enyi nzọbụ 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 enyi nzọbụ enyi mba enyi IPOB nzọbụ enyi nzọbụ enyi mba enyi nzọbụ nzọbụ enyi nzọbụ enyi mba enyi.
All right, we'll still have to remind you about our tour, musicians tour in Japan that is coming up. You know, we are preparing and we're really getting responses, and we're happy to announce it. Very, very happy indeed, because they are going there to send out this message of goodwill to the world about our plight. We cannot just sit down here and be doing. They can go out there to spread this message, spread it up. What we are calling for is free will donation, because we need money to take this trip. And responsively, some of our members are responding, and we are very glad to announce it. Very, very glad. And if you can, snakoba go. That's what they say. That's the language. No matter what you can afford, nobody is forcing you to do it. Just do what you think you need to do to make sure that they bring this whole thing to a success. This is Radio Biafra.
Biafra is all he asks for. Every night and day he's shouting and pointing to one direction. But his own people are blind and saying it's causing division. Tell me why someone will sacrifice his life for you and I? Tell me why out of sight has become out is people emancipation. Aye, no, 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 no. But there is a breaking news to those who never knew. Permit me to give you a clue in the morning sunrise.
Concert bell, concert bell, concert bell. Biafrans and lovers of freedom around the world. There will be an all-stars concert tour of Biafra artists coming up soon in Tokyo, Japan. This concert is aimed at spreading the gospel of Biafra to every nooks and crannies of the earth. We are bringing the gospel to the streets of Asia, and Tokyo, Japan will be its starting point. We are using this opportunity to appeal to Umu Chineke around the world to lend our music stars a financial helping hands to make this concert tour realizable. To make any donation, please contact Veteran Iyke Peter on +18 45 344 7984 or +19 29 40 69 953. You can also contact Mazi Iyke Foreign on +39 35 11 37 44 78 or +48 57 93 32 439.
Yeah, like I said, we're calling for free will donation. You can call me or call OK Foreign. But if you belong to IPOB, it's easier to make your payment through your unit. Go in there, make your payment, collect your receipt, and then forward it to us so that when it's time to get the money, we'll know what the money is. They are taking up in September, and we're still working on it. The Vigorous will give you the logistics. But if you can, please, and you wish to donate, do so. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. We're here taking calls. The lines are still open at 646-920-4541, 845-344-7984, 929-406-995. Please call us.
I have said it before, and I will repeat what I said. If we engage in killing, Biafra will not come. That is one cardinal thing you don't do in Biafra. Go and ask anybody. Anytime you shed an Igbo blood, you kill a fellow Biafran, anything you're looking for will not come. Go and ask all of them. Starting from the death of Mbono Iyke. People don't know how Mbono Iyke died. The man responsible for the death of Mbono Iyke, where is he? Everything he asked for, he got nothing for.
Yes, we can't get Biafra if you keep killing our people. Our leader has said that over and over and over, and I don't know what our people are thinking. Some people are claiming what they are not. But you know something, we are not bothered. Those who will survive it will survive it. You think you have put your hand in criminality and think that that is the way to bring Biafra, good luck to you. But the point is that you will never succeed, because we know that you cannot succeed by killing our own people. That is the trouble.
For dialogue. Didn't I tell you, Ndoshi? Anything I tell you is true. You may not believe it when I say it, but eventually I am very confident that Chukwu Abiyama's blessing is with us so much that anything we open our mouth to offer comes to pass. I'm telling you, anything we say, open our mouth and say, that thing must happen. Is it not happening now? That was how they created all those fake people. If there's Nnamdi, Kanu, IPOB, every blessed day, they have no other job. They don't do anything else. These are the people sponsored by APC Boko Haram. The same thing they have now done today is here clear in black and white. Boko Haram now have a new leader, and that leader is open for dialogue. Who said this? Not Boko Haram, but Idris Deby, the Chad president. I told them, I'm going to go to the library. Not the library. They don't know who we are. They have no idea. These people are so foolish. They have no clue as to what we are capable of. Only in a short while. One thing to okay. We will shock them. We will shock them. Then they will know that this media war, they have truly lost it. They have lost it completely and totally. We are live and direct, and this is Radio Biafra, live and direct to the whole world. Mankind is listening to us. Why? Because we speak the truth. Reps to probe 5 billion police recruitment fund. Anybody would have thought that the job of the police is to catch criminals. But you don't know that in the zoo, only in the zoo, the police are actually the thieves. How will do she? If they're not thieves, how come 5 billion of their money is missing? No, he's laughing, isn't it? If there is any criminal activities.
All right, I have a call. Caller, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Mazi Iyke Sorry. Good afternoon from here. I'm calling from Brescia land of Biafra. My name remains Mazi Iyke Mazi Alozie, and there are all the good Biafrans who are doing the needful, who are doing the will of Elohim Chukwuka Piama. Our leader is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Omemeluzu, Ohamadike, one of Biafra land, the king of Biafra land. Chukwuka Piama is our God. On this hallowed platform is where we worship. Biafra is our religion. We don't have any other thing except Biafra. What we are asking for is our nation. The original name that God created us with, not these fake names. We are answering now. That is why everything is going zigzag. To us, the Almighty in heaven, the gross infatuation of days, who created Mazi Nnamdi and sent him to liberate the great nation Biafra. Father, we ask you to have mercy. Even we know that we have already sinned against Chukwuka Biama, but have mercy on us. There's many who are doing the needful Chukwuka Biama. Release our leader for us. Protect him. Save him from these murderers. Save him from these killers called evil politicians in our land. Chukwuka Biama. We will dance on the streets, praising you because we are your children. Save our leader for us in the name of Elohim Chukwu Okuke Abiyama. He said, Mazi Iyke, our veterans.
Yes.
You know, our people don't know that whenever you want to get something and you follow the long side of it, you will not get anything. If you are an Igbo man, you know. There's many who kill their fathers because of 504 then. Today, different cars is out there. Nobody asking those. There's many who do all the evil because of 3310. All this phone we are using now. But today, what's happening? What we are asking for is our people should stay away from evil. Don't support evil because you want something. No, we are different people. Our leader, before he came in to fighting for our freedom, he prayed very, very well. And the Chukwuka Abiyama answered him his prayer to read us. And he read our mind, how we behave. And today, some of criminals, some of people who don't know the way Igbo people, the way our land is now claiming to be leader of who? Leader of the great Biafrans. You know, great Biafrans, what we're asking and what we beg all of us, because you may be doing something, you don't know that you are doing a wrong thing. That is why we said, listen to Radio Biafra off and on. If you have something that confuse you, call Radio Biafra, you will see our people. Ask that question you ask. That is why we are encouraging everybody. Don't go to social media looking for person that is in room dancing for you. Is it what we come to dance? We come to do is to dance. No, we are freedom fighters and everybody know. Before we jump into it, we know what freedom means. Now, our people don't want to understand. People are killing each other. People are stealing, burning our things because we want to be free. Is it a hard thing to people to understand? Other people are asking it, and they're being given to them. Our own is difficult, and the people don't want to talk. There is one our brother that's called said we should, contact Russia to help us. My brother, let me tell you the truth. If external body come, who they are, how they start? Is it to start with autopilot? Is it start with those who are steering our things, or is it start from where? We need to build ourselves, starting the struggle by our own. Before external, you are expecting people to come and help you. But now, we still believe that we can get you money, because all this money we are chasing about are confusing us. Stay away from politicians. You don't want. Stay away from eating Fulani cow. You don't want. Why? How do you be free from these people? We need to reject many things.
Thank you.
We need to reject many things to get what we want. Stay in the line of IPOB. Don't gossip. Don't accuse your own brother what you don't show about because you are in social media. That is the thing. We need to rebuild ourselves, fighting those who came to kill us first, showing them that we are determined to be free. We are determined. We must show that we are determined to be free before other people will come in to help us. That is the only thing that will save us. Mazi all the children of light in the whole world, support ESN. Stay away from evil. Support ESN. Stay away from evil. If you see evil, kaboyak.
They will.
And never give us anything. Thank you, Mazi, for your good work. May Elohim bless you for your good work. They won't watch it.
All right, bless you too. Thank you, sir. All right, this is Radio Biafra. I have a call. Let me see. Hola, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello, Maz. Good afternoon from here.
Welcome to the
My
program.
name is Innocent. I'm calling from Biafra. So, Mazi, only one leader we have, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I never know who be Simon. I never know who be Iyke. I never know who be Simon. So I know Simon is working with the Nigerian government. So that is why those that associate with them with Simon, I always disassociate with them because I know they are not following the right way. They are following the wrong one. My own interest is where our leader is, not Simon, not the autopilot. So I am praying for my leader. If we come back, we return back with our blessed nation called Biafra. So I am praying every time. So nothing will stop this movement. Nobody will stop it. So people have died, people have suffered, people have been been in exile because of this. So we are praying for that. Even my family, everybody are praying for the restoration of our dear nation. So we are suffering from Nigeria. So nothing is working here. Everybody is suffering. So we are pleading God. What have we done to deserve such? What have we done to deserve such? We have bad leaders everywhere around us. So during the election time, they will remember people. They will know that we go market, go share with a market woman. So I am very, very happy that Biafra will come because I know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not Wazirike. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is somebody that sacrificed everything he have because of us. So our leader will come back and we will never die from that place. We stay alive and we enjoy it. All of us will enjoy it. We just doing this thing because of our children, not for us. We are old men. Because I am now, I am in 40 years now. So now my children that I am strong for this. So I don't know what I to say. I say may God bless you people that only when I call this radio I get hope. When I hear this radio I get hope. But another thing not for me. It is only this radio. When I hear all these all the US Chike Dozie and Martinez and Wuru, all of them, Mazi, Jonathan, Mazi Peter, Mazi Alozie, I always be happy because I know that these people that want us to enjoy our resources in this blessed land of Biafra. Thank you, my brother. God bless you, sir.
God bless you. All right. Thank you so much. This is Radio Biafra. We're still taking calls at 646 920 4541 845 344 7984 929 406 9955. Fellas, we still have if you can take 2 more calls before we call it a day. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. All right, we are here. Like I said before, keep your eyes on the ball. Don't be distracted by anybody because they will always try, but you know, in the end, they will fail because we know that Biafra for us is our religion, and there's nothing more serious in our life than our religion. The way it is, that's the way we want it to be.
It makes any sense. Go and listen to, if you like, sit down, listen to all Shoinka's interview. He makes no sense. If you have common sense inside you, you will know. Defense headquarters today are condemning suicide attack.
All right, I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to mistakenly touch something. I want us to listen to this very attentively.
Comes to the zoo, it is not the police that goes to investigate. They send EFCC or RCC or FRSC, not police. How many times have you read in the paper that the police are now investigating? The answer is 0. Once it has to do with money, police doesn't. They don't allow the zoo police to come close because the police people are the ones that are thieves. Where they'll be investigating, they're stealing their own and filling their own pockets. People don't know how backwards and criminally corrupt the zoo called Nigeria is. Police money is missing, stolen by police. How much? 5 billion naira. Imagine how many school fees that can pay. Imagine how many salaries and for how many months that can pay. Some states are going to borrow 9.7 billion to pay salaries for 4 months. One single person with his friends stole 5 billion in one go. Oh dear. The zoo at its finest. That is a place prepared for stealing. This worship. It is a place well, I don't know how the British conceived this, you know. I must give some credit to Lugard, you know. I don't know how he managed to do it. I don't know how Lugard managed to create a perfect country for criminals. The only place that is the criminality has been perfected beyond understanding of man. The zoological republic, the zoo itself. My goodness me. My goodness me. This is Radio Biafra, live and direct. Somebody is saying that Buhari, we don't need Igbos. And somebody is writing and saying Igbos don't mind. After all, I mean, Igbo speaking people of Biafra. Igbo is the dominant language in Biafra land, not Biafra itself. After all, the word Biafra came from an Izon man, not an Igbo man. So, you know, I pray, you know, I want all these people that do this and they come, they say something, will just run away. I want to sit them down. Oh, Biafra is Igbo. I want to ask the idiot writing in Lagos, who brought the name Biafra? Was it an Igbo man? The answer is no. It was a man from Ijo man. Oh dear. Oh dear me. We need to do something about this issue because Igbos have been marginalized because of Biafra. We don't want anything to do with the zoo. The word of Biafra is not an Igbo word. The reminder of who we are came from an Ijo man. An Ijo man reminded the world as to who we are and what our name is. Don't you understand it? Hey, Yara, don't you get it? I don't think you do. They said Buhari don't need them. They too don't need Buhari. I mean Igbo people. Because me, I speak Igbo language and I am a Biafran. I come from a place called Afara. You put B-I in front of it. Come and join. Very, very simple, isn't it? Come and join. exposing another pedophile terrorist Buhari administration falsehood. They want them to write below is an official press statement explaining how the loan Buhari claimed was diverted was to be expended. They live on loan. They produce nothing. They don't make people say, oh, Innocent is a car manufacturer. No, he's not. He's a car assembly plant. He doesn't. I know some of you will be crying now, won't you? But here we speak the truth, you see. It can be painful. We will preach it. The heart of engine motor Innocent is not fabricated in Africa. They import components from China. He assembles them together. That's what he does. I give him credit for that. It's like a kit car, kit car means K-I-T, kit, kit car. They send you the cars in small boxes, they're Lego, you put it together. And if it's working, then you're a car manufacturer. And rightfully so. I don't want to take away any of the glory from him. He's doing very, very well. Very, very well. They tell you one thing and they do another. They're going for loans. The reason why I mention Innocent is because with a little bit of loan like this money, 1.1 billion, if you give Innocent now 1.1 billion, he will be able to manufacture everything that his car needs to be operational or to be functional on the road. He will employ people to mold the tire using rubber. He will get people also employ them to bend the steel to the shape of the door of the car or the bonnet. He will make sure that they fabricate the glass for the windshield at the front and also the rear one, including side mirrors, including every other plastic. Do you know that the indicator, trafficator in your car is made of plastic? Do you know that any plastic company can make it? But, oh, black people from Africa. But people travel to China to import that plastic. You know your backlight. They don't hit my car. Your backlight is shattered. That thing, when you pick it up, is ordinary plastic. Which means common sense says that any plastic company can make it. But no, you need to travel to China to go and get it. And the economy is booming and they are busy collecting loans, which they can only divert back to their private accounts abroad. Very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. We continue. I told them they are dead. The zoo is finished. The zoo is finished. I want them. Radio Biafra is the downfall of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. Now, as soon as Radio Biafra came up, I knew that Nigeria was this gone. It's finished. It's gone. 4 people are dead as helicopter crashes into Lagos Lagoon. When I heard this news, I thought they were carrying Igbo chiefs going to see the Oba Akiolu, and then Oba directed them to land inside the lagoon, and they died there. But that wasn't the case. Another reason why I'm bringing this news to the fore is that the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, ran to the place. They called the Southwest Wing. They ran to the place. When there is when there is a helicopter crash, people may be injured. I would expect to see maybe ambulance rushing to the place, or maybe the police to cordon off the area to do some proper investigation, and air investigation, whatever, air crash investigators to go there to find out exactly what happened, recover the voice, the cockpit voice recorder in order to obviously ascertain what went wrong. Instead of the police to issue a statement, or the ambulance, or maybe the hospitals where they are, who is there to talk about it? The National Emergency Management Agency. Oh my goodness me. What happened was an accident, not a national emergency. Do you people actually know English language? Or you just, anything you see, you just name yourselves and you speak? Your name says National Emergency Management Agency, National Emergency. Helicopter crashing is very sad, that is true, because there are lots of lives, yes, rebel and very sad, yes. But with due respect, it's not a national emergency. So what is NEMA doing there? To supply bags of rice and gari? Do you know why they have things like NEMA in the zoo? Is to show you how backwards they are. Black people in the zoo, monkeys and baboons everywhere. Monkeys and baboons everywhere. I told them, we shred them already, Biafra. Buhari's appointments, PDP is mocking us, according to APC, because I told you tonight my news hound found only news that goes to corroborate what we preach on Radio Biafra. After we lambasted Buhari yesterday, or should I say 2 days ago, now they are saying, Buhari, please appoint a cabinet. Oh, people are watching, the world is listening, and they are making a mockery of us. Why? Because of Radio Biafra. Who else now? Did anybody complain about it? Or did anybody explain to the world the meaning of democracy the way we just did? Did anybody tell you about Montesquieu's separation of powers? Did anybody actually tell you that the judiciary, the legislature, and the executive is incomplete if you don't have ministers?
All right, thank you very much for paying attention to today's program. Like I said before, reminding you about the tour that is coming up, and I will take part in it. And if you want to make your donations, please call us Radio Biafra or call any other Radio Biafra platforms and make your intentions known. This is Radio Biafra. At this point, we are almost come to the end of today's today's broadcast, and hopefully we'll be with you again tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, and it's going to be tomorrow at the same time. We'll be here. But meanwhile, stay put, because Mazi Alozie, USA 1, is coming on next. Remember that all they are doing, the distractors are trying to get your mind, to make you all take your eyes off the ball. Don't let them do that. Ignore them. Keep doing what you're doing, because in the end, we're going to smile. Trust me. Because the zoo is, going haywire, and we see it going down and down and down and down and down. For me, I asked this question this morning: what have you really achieved since you locked up Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Nothing, except disaster upon disaster, and that disaster is going to continue. It's not going to ever stop. This is Radio Biafra. From here, from me, still want to remind you that Biafra for us is our religion. On Radio Biafra, that's what we worship. We've turned down all the front lines, so we don't need to bother. From me to you, hopefully we'll be again tomorrow.
It's our religion. The last hope we have is in Biafran restoration. I believe. Listen to Radio Biafra. It's where we worship. As a Iyke Abiyama, let your kingdom come. Listen to Radio Biafra. It's where we worship. As a Iyke Abiyama, let your kingdom come.
Mmụọ mmiri ị ga-eji akwa okwu ọma n'isi Nnamdi Kanu n'aha Chukwu Okike Abịama.
Ise. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom.
This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Iyke from Alo province of Biafra land. We are here live and direct. Today is the 27th day of the 5th month being May 2023. I hereby welcome each and every one of you to welcome your friends and well-wishers onto this hallowed platform. Do not forget that you can hear our voice through our CHK 102.1 in most part of Biafra land, in frequency modulation FM. As I'm talking, I am sure that my voice is being heard in or via CHK 102.1 in Abreba, Ibere, Ohafia, Abam, Bende, Isikuato, Arochuku, and environs. Also, other places include Olo Main Town, Nkwere, Okporo, Ihioma, Amifeke, Amannachi, Eziamobire, Eziachi, Owerenkwoji, and virtually all also Axis and some part of Ihiala. These are places you can also hear, and other places also in Aguata, Ekulobia, Achina, Akpo, Enugu Omonia, Amezi, Umuamako, Umuchu, and Mpolugo, all in Anambra State. You can also hear our voice through FM as I'm talking now in Uromi, Auchi, Jato, Ebira Camp, Aviele, Edo North, Esanko West. These are places in Edo. You can also hear our voice, and our bar is on. Enugu is also on. Therefore, we urge you to call your people, your friends and well-wishers in all these places in Biafra land. Is almost virtually a part of Biafra land, to listen, tune in to their 102.1 FM in their radio, and you will be hearing our voice. Because today I will be joined by Mazi Iyke, a member of the Directorate of States. As time goes on, in some minutes time, I'll be joined by him to make some address Biafrans and on an interactive, make some interactions as usual. Therefore, I once again welcome each and every one of you. You can also download IPOB Community Radio on your application, smartphone application. IPOB Community Radio or TuneIn Radio or Simple Radio. All these are applications via which you can be listening to Radio Biafra London, or directly you can also download Radio Biafra London and you'll be listening to our voice. There are sometimes people send some very funny questions, can I call it idiotic questions. Mazi, confirm, is this true? Because somebody sent me a WhatsApp. I say, but why not listen to Radio Biafra? Are you listening to Radio Biafra? Because if you are not listening here, you are listening another place. Some people, they are addicted to listening to gossip, and you continue disturbing people on asking nonsensical questions. What? Oh, this is what one of my friends sent me on WhatsApp. So is it true? Listen to Radio Biafra London, and you will stop taking. You are the person that's supposed to be even highlighting others that are not listening, instead of listening to gossip and rubbish and propaganda. Very, sometimes very foolish questions. I'm telling you. Inbox you, is this correct? Is this true? What I'm hearing? Where do you hear it? Do you hear it already? No. Somebody inboxed me on WhatsApp. I can So any person can make any voice from anywhere and send to you, distribute it. Did you hear it on Radio Biafra? Is a question. Once you don't hear it, because this is where our rallying point. Do not forget. Eba Kobitoro, this is where it all started. By our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is currently under the DSS dungeon, or in the DSS dungeon, the Nigerian Secret Police, in their dungeon, illegally, because our leader has been discharged and acquitted by the Nigerian Appeal Court. But the Nigerian executive, they are, as a banana republic, they don't obey court orders. And not only discharging and acquitted, he also gave a judgment that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should never stand trial in any Nigerian court. But till today, he is still there. They refuse to release him. This court judgment was there was pronounced since the 13th day of October 2022. 13th day of October 2022. And here we are, still the Nigeria lawless government refused, said no, they are not going to obey court order. And do you know what? Court is the last hope of a common man. Once in a so-called democracy, republic, when court orders are not respected, everybody is in trouble. That is one thing people should understand. Once the courts are not respected, court orders are not followed and respected, know that everybody in that country is in a big mess. And that is what is happening. That is it. There should be no need for people to go and start studying law, say they are practicing law in Nigeria. You practice law, the government doesn't obey, executive lawlessness. But make no mistake about it, our leader must be released. That is the bottom line. He must come out, he must be released. That's it. Because we have defeated Nigeria in their own courts. That is the reality. Therefore, we are not shaking at all. We are not shaking. All that matters is we know that our leader must be released, come what may. If they think that holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as become the center of gravity of destruction of IPOB, they are mistaken. It's too late for them. It is far too late for them. Because the structure is there. Moving on. We are moving on. We continue going on. Doing what we're supposed to do. And the zoo must fall. Do not forget our 30th Remembrance Day coming up on Tuesday. Our 30th May. Where our heroes and heroines, we should remember them. Those that fought that we may live. The Kumeku warriors. Those that fought the European colonial masters. The Europeans, they fought them. The Kumeku warriors. And others. Unknown others, I should say. That resisted Europe and their ideology in our land. And they were killed. We have to remember them. Those that try to maintain our way of life, we must remember them. Those that fought during the Biafra war, we must remember them. Have you ever thought about this? Do you ever hear that people are remembered because of the money they have, or they made, the billions they made when they were alive? You remember them? Or they were going on the best car as of their own time. You remember them because of that? The answer is no. We remember people because of the legacies they laid down while living. That is a stamp. What you stamped, your fingerprints. Your fingerprints on this world is the legacy you laid down. When you see the famous people that are being remembered or talked about all over the world, they are people that did something that changed people's way of life positively in one way or the other. You see scientists, inventors, you see different people that change the lives of people. These are people that are being remembered. So when you are fighting tooth and nail, hustling in order doing anything in order to make money to ride the best car, let me tell you, the best car the highest car you ride today, in the next few years it becomes garbage. Do you remember Pijo Pan when it was raining? 504, 55. Do you know that many people did committed different evils in order to ride all those cars? But today, if they carry 155 and dash you, just dash, you say, "Oh God, take this 55," you will slap the person. But these are cars that even people died in order to get it. And you see how the world is. I don't know where iPhone, the range of iPhone now. When it started the first time, people were, that thing you want to get by all means, at all costs today. A time, within small time, it will fade. And you'll be looking at yourself that spend all those type of money and time and efforts in order to acquire all these things. You will sit down and be looking at yourself as very foolish. I am telling you. You will just, after everything, after some time, when all those things are no more attractive, you see other things coming new. Now you will sit down and start so I get all this. I remember the time I was hustling for this. Now anyhow, it becomes on a tuna. But today nothing, because you get it and it's nothing. So you start looking at yourself as a very foolish person. What lasts forever is the legacies you laid down. That is why we are going to remember these people that laid down their lives for us, our ancestors, our fathers, our uncles that died that we may live. These are, good deeds, legacies being laid. Now ask yourself, what legacy are you trying to lay down? A very simple question. It's a rhetorical question. Which kind of legacy are you laying down? Is it the legacy of sabotage, betrayal, betraying your brothers, betraying the cause, our collective cause? Is it that legacy? Judge yourself. That is it. At the beginning, my preamble, just before coming on, I played a clip about Kunle and Alhaji. And where Alhaji is telling him telling Kunle that he has many Igbo friends. This is Alhaji that is now Shetima, that is now the vice president of Nigeria. The man that says even if he see his own brother eating human flesh, consuming other people's human flesh, he will support him. He is now in power. Do you know that Shetima is from Kanuri tribe? He's from Borno State. You had a call Boko Haram. You see it. You say that you know how to treat the Igbos. He made in that clip to phone conversation. He thought Kule was surprised that, so you have Igbo friends. He said, why not? You make them friends and they vomit what you can use in order to succeed. You just one thing, because you vomit and you will capture it. Do you see how they are more, they are more wise. They bring you to use you. And today, the same Kule, according to today's news, May 27, 2023, He said, I picked an Igbo Catholic as my chief security officer to douse Islamization claims. Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima. Do you see it? Do you see what he said in that clip? He said that Igbo man is the managing director of one of his companies, and when the company was even broke, was not getting contract, the man was paying all the salary, even increased salary. So he said he's surprised. Some people say he have all you way, but it's lie. So you don't know how the man is doing it. So he get all this. They must always use Igbo man to deceive. So that my person now will be, hey, no, it will be because Shettima knows. So he said, because if you sideline an Igbo man, if you sideline Igbos, you cannot succeed. So you have to use them, using them. That is why today he picked an Igbo Catholic as his chief security officer to douse Islamization claims by Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima. The man is not a Fulani man. Let me tell you. He's an indigenous Kanuri person from Borno, born in 1966. But these are the willing tools the Fulani is using against their own people. These are after all, Babangida is not a Fulani man. But he was used. He dipped his hand and, took $21 billion from the Nigerian coffers in order to support OIC. But he's not a Fulani. After all, Babangida is not a Fulani man. But he was used. He dipped his hand and, took $21 billion from the Nigerian coffers in order to support OIC. But he's not a Fulani man.